A walkout on campus. Today's students left the classroom and hit the ground protesting. Why they were there and what they hope to change tonight at 9.
Lock up your bikes. Bike theft has risen this school year. Later we'll talk to university police about protecting your property.
There were flurries today, but more dreary weather is on the way. I'll have more information in my full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
What do we want? Change! What do we want?
Now! Today, students met in the middle of campus to protest inequality at Ball State. This comes after a student had the police called on him in the middle of class for not changing seats. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Sam Higgins.
And I'm Peyton Green.
Today's walkout comes 1 week after the confrontation that went viral and made national headlines.
NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Brummett is live in the studio. Tyler, what are the students saying about this?
Yeah, well, Peyton and Sam, really just a unique day in Ball State's history. As students say, they believe this is a conversation that hasn't only been a week in the making, but a problem that has gone on for years, and its injustice they feel needs to come to an end immediately. Hundreds of students packed the University Green today, and so did members of the community as well as university officials.
Change! Now!
A snowy January morning didn't stop hundreds of students from walking out of class. The protest was a response to a professor calling university police because a student wouldn't change seats. A video of the incident went viral. For students like Cameron Green, this was an opportunity for students to be heard.
The longer we put this off, the longer nothing's gonna happen about it.
Throughout the demonstration, person after person telling their story, at times emotional, especially for Sultan Benson, the student in the middle of it all.
Anybody raise their hand if Mufasa has helped them in any way?
You got a legacy.
This your legacy, guys.
Production.
This your legacy, guys.
The bigger cause, the bigger picture is being seen now. It seems like more students are on board and not scared to share their stories.
Tuesday, Benson wasn't alone. In attendance, hundreds of his peers, also Ball State President Jeffrey Mearns. BSU and Mearns declined to talk Tuesday, but the president's mere presence is one both Benson and former mayoral candidate Terry Whit Bailey say is progress.
We've got to remember that President Mearns is an ally, not only to the students and the staff, but to the community, and we're seeing that.
Thank you for attending, and we understand that he's not alone, and he can't make everything make every change by himself. So I would never put him at fault.
The demonstration also questioned the balance of power between professors and students. Organizers say the professor, Shaheen Borna, violated multiple university policies when the police were called, including falsely reporting an emergency.
To think our tax dollars getting spent on a student refusing to change seats, I just don't think that's where our money should be going to.
And while Benson says he feels Tuesday's walkout was a step in the right direction in a much bigger conversation, he's waiting for more work to be done. But in the meantime, he's grateful that hundreds of people supported this cause.
I definitely appreciate all the support. I can't say that enough. I'm away from home. I got my roommates and I got everybody here, so I appreciate it.
Now, it is worth noting that today's walkout was put together by students. Now, tomorrow night, a forum will be held at 6:30 by both the Student Government Association as well as the Black Student Association. NewsLink Indiana will be there, and we're going to bring you the very latest. We've got details on that forum, as well as our previous coverage online at ballstatedaily.com. Now, as far as Benson, he told me today that he will be meeting with President Mearns this Saturday. So, of course, this is something, guys, that we're going to continue to keep you updated on.
Thank you, Tyler.
Today, the Counseling Center said it would be hosting support groups for students of color. The groups will give students a safe space to discuss their individual experiences of being a student at Ball State.
The next meeting will be Thursday afternoon at 3 in the Student Center room 310.
Students saw a wintry mix if they were outside for the walkout or just trying to get to class. Lexi, is this weather going to change anytime soon?
We're not necessarily going to see a change in this weather anytime soon, and it's pretty cool looking at tonight. As you can see, 31 up in Kokomo and even cooler in other regions. But as we see what we're tracking tonight, it's dreary and dry in these next coming days, but we are going to see snow this weekend and a warm up on the way.
While we're seeing wintry mixes here in Muncie, Florida is on alert after an earthquake hit Jamaica this afternoon. A strong earthquake near Jamaica has prompted some evacuations in Miami. Police say the quake shook up some high rises in the downtown and financial districts. Officials say some of those buildings were evacuated, including 8 that residents emptied on their own. The city's government center is closed as a precaution. There are no reports of any injuries or road closures. The 7.7 magnitude quake was centered north of Jamaica. Forecasters warned about a possible tsunami threat in 6 surrounding countries, but not in the U.S.
President Trump's legal team making their first full day of arguments in his Senate impeachment trials. But the talk off of the Senate floor surrounding a book manuscript by former National Security Advisor John Bolton, escalating Democrats' call for his testimony. Karen Kaifa reports from Washington.
President Trump's legal team turning their attention to the Constitution.
Purely non-criminal conduct, including abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, are outside the range of impeachable offenses.
And Joe Biden and his son Hunter, who served on the board of a Ukrainian gas company.
The House managers talked about the Bidens of Burisma 400 times, but they never gave you the full picture.
Democrats dismissing the Biden arguments as a distraction.
This is clearly an attempt to feed red meat to their base, but also red herrings to take us away from the central issue.
But as they lay out their case, a new revelation. The New York Times reporting, citing multiple sources, that in a draft of his upcoming book, John Bolton writes Trump wanted to continue withholding military aid to Ukraine until the country helped with investigations into Democrats, including the Bidens. The Democrats using the manuscript information to continue their call for the former National Security Advisor and others to testify.
John Bolton has direct, relevant information.
Republican reaction ranging from agreement to dismissal.
I think it's increasingly likely that other Republicans will join those of us who think we should hear from John Bolton.
At the end of the day, it doesn't impact the legal issue before this Senate.
A White House official says President Trump has watched parts of the trial and has been pleased at the performance of his legal team. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The Senate will reconvene tomorrow to begin questioning both sides. They will have 16 hours over 2 days to ask questions. A new restaurant is coming to Muncie, where it is and what you can expect next.
UPD is warning students about a rise in bike thefts. After the break, the tips they have for you to protect your property.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. The Ball State Learning Center is a great resource to take advantage as the school year is kicking into gear. Jennifer Haley, the director, talks about all the Learning Center has to offer, including free tutoring for any class from math to English. Located in the North Quad, room 350, you can get all the academic support you need. You can acquire appointment-based tutoring, satellite math drop-in tutoring, academic coaching, testing services for students with disabilities, and supplemental instructions.
So we encourage students to be proactive. So near the beginning of the semester, it's a great idea to start getting a tutor for that tough class on your schedule, or to drop into our satellite tutoring.
Studies prove to show by students using these services, they are more likely to graduate on time.
Ball State saw a record number of bike thefts last semester, and it left some students wondering how they could protect their property. NewsLink Indiana's Tucker White talked to the university police to get some tips.
Last semester, over 40 bicycles were stolen from Ball State's campus. Corporal Travis Stevens tells you how to keep your bicycle safe.
Preventative would be trying to use a quality lock like a U-bolt style steel lock versus the cable locks. Cable locks tend to be easy to cut. U-locks are a little bit stronger, and I've just never really seen those get cut.
Stevens said cable locks don't serve much protection against thieves.
I've watched videos before of people walking up and they can cut a cable lock in 3 to 10 seconds and then they're off with the bike.
Stevens said it's important to register your bike with Ball State.
Serial number on your bike is just like a VIN on your car, and registering it is just as important.
Registering your bike allows police to return it when they recover it.
It helps us identify that bike to you. So should we find that bike laying on the side of the road or find a suspect that we think stole that bike, it gives us the opportunity to call the victim back.
To register your bike, go to bsu.edu. In Muncie, Tucker White, NewsLink Indiana.
Registering your bike is free for students and highly recommended by university police.
If you're looking for a new place to eat, there's a brand new Mexican restaurant called Acapulco opening up soon. The new restaurant is located on Bethel Avenue. The owner says he has high expectations for this restaurant. The owner plans for the restaurant to be open by the end of February. Their expected hours are from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. That restaurant, the food looks really good, but what's not been great lately is the weather. Lexi, what's going on?
That's true. It's been pretty chilly recently, and as we take a look at the current temperatures, you can see that it's really cold across our viewing region. And we're going to continue to talk about that in my full weather forecast.
For those who serve today, and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Action!
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
This morning you might have needed an ice scraper for your car.
And don't put it away, yet more snow is on the way. Lexi, what can we expect?
Well, other than snow, we're actually going to see a heat up in temperatures later in the week, but for right now, temperatures are relatively consistent. If we look across the state tonight, we're seeing fairly consistent temperatures. You can see 31 in Marion, a bit colder, 29 down in Richmond. But if we take a look at the 24-hour temperature change, really, it hasn't changed that much since the same time yesterday, only a change of 1 or 2 degrees. And as we take a look at this radar, you can see that there was a change in that we had some flurries today, and as that moves out, the clouds are going to stay. That's going to stay through tonight as we take a look at tonight's forecast. Temperatures at about 30 degrees, cloudy tonight with a breeze coming in from the northeast. And as we go in to this precision cast, we can see that cloud coverage staying throughout the week through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So really that isn't going to change much, but if we take a look at the weather across Indiana, we can see that cloud coverage that we've been talking about, but later on in the week going into Saturday, you can see a storm system starting to come through with some snow and rain on Saturday, creating a rain-snow mix throughout the day, but that's going to change quickly as it clears on Sunday, leaving a sunny and warm weekend, but that won't last for long. As you can see, these clouds starting to creep back in, giving way to heavy rain on Tuesday. Now, all of that weather leaves us asking, what is happening that it is changing so quick? And that can be seen in this jet stream graph here. As you can see, right here we have a trough in Muncie, so you can see that we're in these bluer regions, and as we get into the dark blue regions, we're going to see a storm start to come through, and that's when that snow-rain mix will come through. But as that changes rapidly, we're going to see a change in weather. So as we move on Sunday to that green region, that's when we're going to see that weather clear up and have warmer temperatures and sunny sky throughout the week. So that creates a great contrast this week, which we can see as we look at this weekend's forecast. On Saturday, we have that snow-rain mix that we've been talking about, highs in the 40s and strong winds that's going to make it feel pretty cold. As it heats up throughout the day, that snow will turn to rain, leaving some slush, so the roads won't be too dangerous, but it's certainly not going to be very nice. But in contrast, on Sunday for Groundhog Day, we have highs in the 50s and clear skies, which we won't have at any other time this week. The winds are still going to be pretty high, so it might feel a bit cooler, but really on Sunday and Monday, that's when we're going to have the best weather of the week, which might help Puxatawny Phil in his decision on how long winter is going to last. But as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, you can see that overcast skies that we've been talking about for the rest of this week, changing to that rain-snow mix on Saturday, temperatures in the mid-30s to lower 40s throughout the week. But as we move on later in the week, you can see on Sunday and Monday, those skies will clear. We'll have highs in the 50s and mid-50s, and while those temperatures will remain on Tuesday, we'll see that giving way to rain and showers for the beginning of next week. So really, the weather isn't going to be so great for the next couple days, but at least we're getting some nice temperatures for the weekend and for Groundhog Day and Super Bowl Sunday.
Glad to hear that the temperatures are going up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Men's basketball is on the road in Bowling Green. The latest from that game after the break.
And staying on the on the court, women's basketball is 13-6 this season. We caught up with them at practice and met some of their leadership. Stay right there. Sports is next.
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously. Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
I'm Philip Chorzay with sports. The Ball State men's basketball team traveled to Ohio this evening to face off against the Bowling Green Falcons. The Cardinals fell by a score of 67-61. The game was a defensive contest early on as both teams were still in the 30s 5 minutes into the second half. Tajay Teague led the way tonight with 18 points and 11 rebounds, while Ishmael El-Amin added 17 points. The Cardinals struggled shooting tonight, managing only 34.8% from the floor and 18.5% from three. And on the women's side of basketball, the team has had a strong season with some key players stepping into the role of leadership. NewsLink Indiana's Madison Surface stopped by practice.
Second in the MAC West, the Ball State women's basketball team has had a strong season that's had fans looking at the leadership on the team. One of those leaders being Jasmine Sams.
Not always is it vocal, but it's leading by example and trying to do my best, and when they have questions, like try to give them that best explanation, because I've been given those explanations by the powers that played in the years past, and I'm just trying to give them the knowledge that I have.
Head coach Brady Sally acknowledged her leadership isn't just seen on the court.
She's the type of kid that takes a team from being good and makes them great, because all the teams at this level have good players. They have leading scorers, leading rebounders, leading assists, but very few of them have that glue kid that keeps the team together, keeps them level-headed, and makes them keep their focus on what it takes to win a game, and I think Jazz is that kid for us.
The hard work and team dedication is paying off. The girls are coming off an 80-63 win against the Miami Redhawks and now focusing on their next game at Kent State.
We've played Kent State already this year, so it's just trying to be able to figure out how can we do things better than the first time to be able to go out and get another win on Wednesday night.
After much preparation and practice, the team left for Ohio this morning. In Muncie, Madison Surface, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Lady Cardinals will face the Golden Flashes at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And this week, the Ball State Hall of Fame will induct 6 individual athletes as well as 1 team. Former football player Doug Bell, softball player Elizabeth Millian, basketball player Dan Palabizio, volleyball player Sarah Obrist-Steele, baseball player Colburn Vitek, and former basketball coach Pat Quinn will all be inducted as individuals. The Hall will also welcome the 2008 football team who went undefeated in their regular season. The ceremony will take place on Friday at 5:30 in the Ball State Alumni Center. Finally tonight, sophomore gymnast Marissa Nychik was named Ball State's Athlete of the Week. Nychik posted personal best scores in both her vault and floor routines and placed first out of 24 gymnasts at the meet. Her score helped lead Ball State to a victory over Bowling Green, Southeast Missouri State, and Wisconsin lacrosse. You know, with Marissa getting all these awards, and we've got all of these Hall of Famers coming in, it's a lot of awards coming out for Ball State right now, and it's really exciting to see.
It's making our school look really good.
Absolutely. We love Ball State, don't we?
Thank you. A major airline is grounding some of its flights to China following the coronavirus outbreak.
2020 has some good news, but not to others. Next week, we'll tell you what retailers is falling behind and who is leaping forward.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously, Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up-to-the-minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
Andy Keister, former cheerleader, up top right here.
I do have, I don't know if you can see it, a toucan this morning?
Toucan, the Fruit Loop guy.
Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Now looking at consumer news. United Airlines is canceling some flights due to the coronavirus. The temporary move affects 24 round trips. They're between the U.S. and 3 cities in China during the first week of February. The airline cities low demand for the routes to Beijing, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines have been waiving fees for the travel changes stemming from the virus. These flight cancellations represent an escalated response. The U.S. has 5 confirmed cases of people infected with the Wuhan coronavirus. This past weekend, Starbucks announced that it will be closing shops and suspending services to its stores located in the city of Wuhan and across Hubei province due to the spread of the novel coronavirus. As of this morning, Starbucks had closed nearly half of its roughly 4,300 Chinese stores. It is still not clear what the extent of the impact of the novel coronavirus will be on businesses in and around China. Starbucks, however, does expect to take a hit in the second quarter of the fiscal year.
Harley-Davidson stock tanked today, dropping 3% in early trading as motorcycle sales continue to slide. It comes after the company reported earnings that fell short of Wall Street's expectations. With Tuesday morning losses, Harley-Davidson stock is down more than 10% so far this year. While sales increased slightly overseas, demand for the company's bikes continued to fall in the U.S. Retail stores in America were down 3% in the fourth quarter, making the 12th consecutive decline.
While Harley is hurting, Billie Eilish is elated. Now 18-year-old singer is winning record sales. Her victories Sunday night include the best-selling artist, as well as record, song, and album of the year. Consumers appear to be taking note. Billboard says the sales of Eilish's albums and songs doubled overnight. The day before the Grammys, she sold about 7,000 units. Sunday, the number shot up to about 15,000. Downloads of Eilish's songs have jumped 127%.
McDonald's is drawing a new battle line in the fast food chicken sandwich wars. The chain is adding fried chicken sandwiches to its breakfast menu. Starting on Monday, February 3rd, customers across the country will be able to get the Chicken McGriddle and McChicken biscuit sandwiches. The new offerings put the classic crispy McChicken in between either sweet maple griddle cakes of a buttered biscuit. Both are available for a limited time only.
You know, I have to say that I love Billie Eilish, and one of the things I think that she's so great about is that she has a little bit of a song for everyone, a genre, if you will.
Yes, that's my go-to walking to class. I'm
Absolutely.
always listening to her. Ocean Eyes is my jam.
Oh
my mom actually loves to sing those songs to my dog, so when you say that she's for everyone, my dog is her biggest fan.
That's awesome. Let's take one final look at weather here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of interesting things coming up this week. As we look at the next couple days, the weather is going to be fairly consistent. Heavy cloud coverage throughout Friday, so we're not going to see much of the sun. Temperatures in the mid-30s to low 40s. On Saturday, we're going to see that rain-snow mix coming in as temperatures heat up throughout the day. We'll see that starting to turn to slush, so you're not really going to have any troubles on the roads this weekend. And of course, it'll be warm and sunny for Groundhog Day and Super Bowl Sunday this weekend.
Awesome.
I'm excited for that. So thank you, Lexi. That's all of tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.